What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Mac on Sports podcast. And holy heck, the Battle of Florida, the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Florida Panthers has become my new favorite thing. Now, I said this last episode. If you want to watch a good series, just a good hockey game, go watch the Battle of Florida. Now, people knew the hype coming into this was going to be good. You look at Barstool Sports, they're selling Battle of Florida shirts. And if you guys don't get the backstory, there's just bad blood between these teams, right? There's been a lot of chirping going on. They saw each other the last couple of games of the regular season, had a lot of fights going on. So you know, playoff hockey is a different breed as it is. It's going to be intense. It's going to be more physical. You're going to get away with a little more things that you wouldn't be able to in the regular season that are borderline, over the line in the regular season. You get away with that type of stuff in the playoffs. Oh my God. We knew this was going to be good. Physical, all that. Game one exceeded my expectations. Holy heck. My God. What a game. Just simple as that. Tampa Bay wins 5-4. We're going to get into this. I'm still coming off the high of it. What a game. And that game almost went to overtime until Tampa Bay scored with 1 minute and 14 seconds left by Braden Point on a breakaway. But I was getting ready. I didn't care if this was going to go to 7 overtimes or anything. This podcast was not going to be recorded until that game was over. I was so locked into it. I'm not a fan of either team. You guys know me. I'm a Boston Bruins guy. I love the Bruins. But I'll tell you what's fun. Playoff hockey's fun when your team's not involved in a certain way. And I mean, if that was the Bruins playing in this type of game, I had a heart attack. My mental capacity and my physical, emotional capacity wouldn't be able to handle that. Now, I struggled when the Bruins lost to the Capitals game one. We're going to get into that in a second. But Kucherov is a sick joke. That guy's a stud. Tampa Bay hasn't had Kucherov the whole entire year. If you guys don't know who he is, he's one of the best players in the NHL. He's one of the best scorers in the NHL. Tampa Bay Lightning history, he has the most points in playoff history, most goals in playoff history. I mean, the guy's a stud. And not only that, you got a former All-Star, Steven Stamkos, has been out all year. He comes back into the lineup. Tampa Bay's filthy. They're filthy. They're cup contenders for a reason. They are. They're unbelievable. But Florida Panthers, now let me tell you, I don't mean any disrespect to the Panthers. Because I loved what I saw from the Panthers. They played well. But just coming into this game, if you look at all the major sports, MLB, NBA, NFL, and NHL, can you tell me who the most irrelevant franchise is where you forget they're a team? I'll give you a second. Because my answer is the Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers. I never think about them when it comes to anything. And I'm not a hockey expert by any means. I enjoy the game. I'll watch. But usually I know teams from around the league. And I do know the Florida Panthers. But just the common average fan, Florida Panthers is not a team I'm coming up with. They're just very irrelevant. But I'll tell you what, they've assembled an actual hockey team together. And they're fun to watch. Johnny Gaudreau or whatever, Huberdeau, he balled out. He had a goal, a sick assist for the Florida Panthers to keep him in this. And oh my God, you got two of some of the best goalies in the world going at it versus Vasilevsky of the Tampa Bay Lightning and, Big Bob over there for the Panthers. They're both studs. This game, you knew it was going to be physical. It exceeded that expectations. They couldn't even get through a single face-off without almost fighting, which made me laugh so incredibly hard when I was watching that happening. It was making me laugh so incredibly hard. Now, my favorite thing of the night, though, is the NHL's full account tweeting, what a way to end the weekend, meaning the Calgary Flames are playing the Vancouver Canucks on Sunday night at 10:30. Here's what I don't understand with the NHL. You've had the Boston Bruins play the Capitals, the Florida Panthers play the Lightning, the Golden Vegas Knights play the Minnesota Wild, and the Islanders play the Pittsburgh Penguins. Out of all those teams I just mentioned, they all have the same goal in mind still, to win a Stanley Cup. They're all in the playoffs. You know what the Calgary Flames and the Vancouver Canucks do not have in common? They're not in the playoffs. They're playing meaningful hockey, so they've had to play 3 games in the last 4 days. And when they did that tweet, they're still upping the Battle of Florida, what we just saw. That was one of the best hockey games I can remember watching in an unbelievably long time. That was a hell of a game. So they actually deleted the tweet. That made me laugh so hard when I saw that. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thought that was quite funny that they had to delete the tweet because everyone's just chirping them in the comments, and even the NHL realized, all right, that's probably a stupid thing to say. But what a game. What a game. Braden Point, last year in the bubble, 2020, in the first round against the Blue Jackets, he had 2 goals And they played a 5 overtime game against the Blue Jackets, and Braden Point got the game winner. It just must be something about Braden Point in Game 1 games, because that was a great game. And then you look at this year, he gets a breakaway with 1:14 left, goes one-on-one with the goalie, gets him to go one way, he goes the other, boom, puts one in the back of the net. Tampa Bay Lightning are up 1-0 in this series. You got to give me 7. You got to give me 7 games of this. You have to give me 7 games of this. This is unbelievably electric. I can't even, me describing this, guys, to you, I'm enjoying it, but I truly do feel sorry for you if you miss the game. I truly feel sorry for you if you miss the game. This is in college basketball aspects, because I know we don't have a lot of hockey fans that listen to this podcast. When Jalen Suggs hit that shot against UCLA, it was that type of game. UCLA was hanging in there. Gonzaga was hanging in there. They would go back and forth. Gonzaga makes a run. UCLA makes a run. Back and forth. Then Jalen Suggs hits an unbelievable shot. Oh, my God. Florida Panthers are going to run here, have a little bit of momentum, go one way and you get shots on net, pucks on net, score. Boom. Take a 2-goal or a 1-goal lead. All of a sudden, Tampa Bay comes back and responds. They get the momentum. Back and forth, back and forth. Oh, my God. You turn your head one way and look the other. It's just unbelievable hockey. We need 7. We need 7. And coming into the playoffs, I would have said loud and clear, guys, hey, Bruins Capitals probably going to be the best first-round matchup there is. I truly believe that. I am so unbelievably all in on the Battle of Florida, Florida Panthers versus Tampa Bay Lightning. I am. And I was not expecting to pop on the show and just go straight into hockey. I wasn't. I was probably going to talk about the NBA here first, because I know a lot of you guys have more of an interest in the NBA than you do hockey. I just couldn't let this go to waste. I couldn't let this go to waste. The Battle of Florida has got me all the way in. And look, I'm going to tell you guys, this is just my opinion. If I was in your shoes and Game 2 just happens to come on TV and you're not doing anything and you're bored and looking for something to do, go watch Game 2. Go watch Game 2, because this is going to be amazing. Now, I'll tell you what. Now, since I give you that recommendation, even if it is a great game, it does not live up to what Game 1 just was. When I tell you that was an unbelievably hockey game, I can't talk about it enough. What a game. What a game. They hate each other. Both teams hate each other's absolute guts. And playoff hockey is just beautiful. What a game. 5-4, Tampa Bay takes Game 1. Wow. Wow. Go watch the highlights on YouTube. But even that won't give it justice. You had to be there for the moment. Unbelievable. Now, we're going to stick on hockey. We're going to get through the playoffs here for a second. The Bruins Capitals. Yeah, very high on the Bruins, actually. I'm wearing a Brad Marchand Pest shirt right now. Still support my Bruins. Lost. And who scored the first goal of the NHL playoffs this year? That scumbag, that villain, Tom Wilson. Off an unlucky play, Charlie McAvoy, Boston Bruins defenseman, takes a shot, breaks his stick, and has to go back without a stick. And Tom Wilson took advantage, goes top shelf on Tuukka Rask's right shoulder. Nothing you can do about it. Unlucky. Game was going back and forth. Washington's goalie went down with an injury. Jake DeBrusk had a sick snipe. Ended up, unfortunately for the Caps goalie, he had to leave the game early. Don't know what happened there. Maybe a pulled muscle. But here's what really pulls at me and pisses me off with this Bruins team after last night's Saturday night's performance against the Caps. A 38-year-old backup for the Washington Capitals comes into the game, not fresh, not warmed up, and the Caps outshot the living hell out of us. We never made it hard on the Caps goalie. Where is Brad Marchand? Where is Patrice Bergeron? Where is David Pastrnak? Your top 6 guys were irrelevant besides Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall forced 2 penalties. Taylor Hall was absolutely buzzing. But where are the rest of your stars? This is a backup goalie that looked like he had no confidence whatsoever. And you weren't getting pucks on net. But you know who took advantage of it? Washington. They get to overtime. And, Tuukka Rask takes one right off the chest and it goes in. And a lot of fans have always been critical of Tuukka. Playoff Tuukka this. Here we go again. Tuukka's going to screw the Bruins. I love Tuukka. I think Tuukka's good. In the playoffs, is he good? No, not necessarily. But all the blame's not going to go on him. When you're top 6, I'm going to say top 5. I think Taylor Hall actually contributed. But when you have those guys not do anything, you can't expect your 4th line gritty guys to do something. And the 3rd line guys, mixed her in. Jacob Bruss was on the 4th line. He scored. Can't have this. Can't have this. I can tell you Alexander Ovechkin came to play. There was a little questions coming into the playoffs. He had a pretty bad injury. played about 7 seconds the last 5 games of the year, and then played the Bruins in the season finale. And he basically, about 10 seconds into the game, probably wasn't 10 seconds, but under a minute into the game, sent David Krejci, Boston Bruins forward, into another dimension. Holy heck. I mean, he was off 2 feet. David Krejci probably seen stars. Alexander Ovechkin's not a guy I'd want to mess with. That game had a ton of hits. I want to say maybe, 92 hits combined. In an NHL regular season game, you're lucky as a team if you get about 30, and maybe both teams combined for 50 to 60 hits. Yeah, they had 92 combined hits. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm telling you, it's a different breed. Playoff hockey is unbelievable. And now, I don't know that I do believe the Bruins Capitals had more hits than the Lightning Panthers game, but it felt like the Lightning Panthers game did. Holy, still not over that. But all I can say is the Bruins got to bounce back tonight. Monday night, game 2 against the Caps. You can't afford to lose both in Washington. You got to win one on the road. Shout out to Washington, though. They came in with a good game plan. Their power play was good. Their penalty kill was electric. Boston's power play was looking atrocious. They did score one on the power play. Got to be better. Got to be better. Now I'll go quick through the other 2 so we can get into the NBA stuff and stuff you guys want to hear. Minnesota Wild. They upset the Golden Knights. A lot of people have the Golden Knights as Stanley Cup contenders and favorites maybe to win the Cup. Cam Talbot had a great game in net, though. Nobody was scoring either side. It goes 0-0 into overtime, and Cam Talbot had 42 saves for the 5th time in his career for a Stanley Cup playoff shutout. Not a bad thing to put on your resume. His 42 saves are the most in a shutout by a Wild goalie of all time. He played well. He kept Minnesota in it, to be honest. I mean, you look, Marc-Andre Fleury of Vegas had an unbelievable, unreal save. But Talbot was right there with him. It was a good game, back and forth all game long. But overall, Minnesota takes one on the road. Not many people probably saw Minnesota doing it, but they did. And then you got to look at the Islanders. Islanders, Penguins coming in. A lot of people think this could be a good series, but Pittsburgh's probably going to pull out. And I still really think Pittsburgh's going to win the series because Andres Lee, the captain of the New York Islanders, out. But the Islanders played as good as a game as you could. Win one in overtime, 4-3 to the Islanders. Get one on the road. That's all you can ask for as a road team. Go into somebody else's barn, take one on their home ice, and get back to your home ice and protect it. And that's exactly what the Islanders did. That's going to be the end of our hockey talk on this episode. But what I'm telling you guys, I'm going to talk about the Bruins every game. That's going to be done. But oh my God, I'm so in on the Battle of Florida. I'm telling you guys, game 2. It definitely won't live up to the expectations of what it just was tonight, but oh my God, just maybe check it out. That's just my recommendation of the week. Just check it out. Now, Jaden Hardy. We've talked about Jaden Hardy before. Number 2 high school player in the country out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, here's what I want to say. He did commit to the G League, and I think a lot of people knew he was going to go to the G League. I did, certainly, over Kentucky, but we're going to get into my gripe about it in a second. But I have another gripe, and I want to pick this with Adrian Wojciechowski and Shams. 2 NBA reporters. They're great at their job at what they do. There's certain stuff you don't need to break news on. If you guys don't know, over the weekend, they broke Jaden Hardy's news maybe 10 to 11 hours before his commitment date. Guys, you got to remember, this is an 18-year-old kid announcing what he's going to do with his future. Let him have his moment. Because you have both Shams and Woj saying, oh, Jaden Hardy's committing to the G League Ignite. Guys, his commitment is like 10 hours. Lay off. Let the kid have his moment. Right? Just let the kid have his moment. There's certain things that don't need to be reported that fast. Straight away when Shams and Woj are tweeting at, oh, Terrence Clark's died. Terrence Clark's wasn't even official yet. There's some stuff you just need to let go, and this is the thing you need to let go. Just let the kid have his moment. But otherwise, we already knew Jaden Hardy was going to go to the G League. Here's my thing about it. I've talked about this many times before. Does Deshaun Nix ring a bell? No, because he went to the G League. Where could Deshaun Nix gone? UCLA. UCLA. You think UCLA really missed him? No, I don't think so. Isaiah Todd, that name ring a bell? Maybe to some. You think Michigan really missed him this past year? No, I don't think so. They did pretty good without him. going to the Elite Eight. Not too shabby, right? Jonathan Kuminga. Yeah, he's going to be a high draft pick. Does that name ring a bell to you? If you follow high school recruiting, yes. The average person, no. He's going to be top in the draft, but he went to the G League. Good for him. Good for him. And we all know about Jaylen Green. Jaylen Green's going to be a star, but he said he would have been the number 1 draft pick if he went to college. That's coming from the best player coming out of this G League process. So now Jaden Hardy has decided to pass up his college options and decide, I'm not going to go to Kentucky, where you would be a star. Calipari doesn't promise playing time. This is a different situation. You'd be the star in Lexington. You would have all the fans cheering your name. And you would be definitely a top 3 to top 5 pick, which I'm sure you still will be coming out of the G League. But you're not going to get as much recognition. And I know Jaden Hardy's a stud. This guy's going to be really good in the NBA one day. I'm just against the G League, as we know. And here's my thing. If it is truly a money thing, if you want to go and make yourself money, yes, you get $500,000 from the G League. They might be passing the rule next year where you can make money off of your name in college. My God. I'm sorry. You're making more than $500,000 if you go to Duke, if you go to Kentucky, if you go to Kansas. You go to one of those schools, North Carolina. You're making more money going there, especially Kentucky, where you had a chance to go. If it's a money thing, that would have been smart. Now, I understand, well, it's not official, Mac. How could you get on the kid for this? Fair enough. Jaylen Green, if he would have went to Auburn, if he really is so incredibly, certain he would have been the first pick of the draft, he just lost millions of dollars by going to the G League. If his confidence is that high, that he would have been the first pick if he would have went to Auburn or some type of college. If he's that confident, he lost money going to the G League. Yes, he got his little $500,000, which is nice for an 18-year-old. Oh my God, I would take $500,000 right now. Of course. But if it is a money thing, and you were confident you would have got the first pick of the draft, college benefits you more than the G League. Nobody's watching a 4 o'clock afternoon game on a Wednesday or Thursday afternoon on ESPNU to watch a G League game. But they will go and watch Duke, North Carolina. They will go and watch Kentucky versus whoever. So, I don't like G League. G League's going to be dead, though, here. Not dead. But, high school kids going to the G League should be dead here in the future if the NCAA decides to pass this bill, which I think would be a phenomenal decision by the NCAA. I really do, because then you're keeping your best athletes in college and keeping all eyes on your sport. Patrick Baldwin going to the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, last episode we talked about. Yes, at least he did stay in college, but you know what? If his team goes to March Madness, people start talking to them maybe as a Cinderella team. Gets more eyes on them than he would a meaningless G League season. And I know you can work on your craft and all that. You don't have to worry about classes. I understand that. Look, half these colleges probably, their kids might not even be going to classes. But even if they do, they're still living and dying, or not dying, that's too far. Living and working their asses off day in, day out in the gyms. I don't like the G League. Jaden Hardy has committed to G League Ignite. His decision, whatever. That's my say on it. But now we go to a guy who actually benefited from the college game. At a mid-major too, believe it or not. Good old Seth Curry. I'm sure that name rings a bell to you. Steph Curry deserves to win MVP. I'm giving my MVP vote as the season has came to an end. I am very high on Jokic out of Denver. Think he could win it too. Joel Embiid's pretty good too himself. Steph Curry won the scoring title, averaged 32 a game for the Warriors. He's the oldest player to win the scoring title since Michael Jordan. Seems to be in pretty good company there. 38 30-point games this season, most since, once again, the greatest player ever, Michael Jordan. He led the NBA in threes. He had this is his fourth 303-point, where he made 300 threes, which is the most ever. He had 7 times this year with 10 threes made in a game, most ever in NBA history. And he was averaging 5.5 threes a game. Not bad. Broke the Warriors' all-time scoring record. It goes on, really, with Steph. It really does. But now, you want to talk about why he deserves to win MVP, if those stats weren't enough? The Warriors' offense this season, with Steph Curry playing, they were 10th best in the league. When Steph was not on the floor or he was injured and didn't play, it would have been their worst offense they've had in the last 5 years in Golden State. I feel like that's an MVP level impact. A lot of you may disagree or agree. I know my good friend Tom Lawrence hates Steph Curry with a passion. He had to write a paper in high school. The prompt was define what you think is overrated, and wrote a good 5 to 7 page paper or something like that about Steph Curry being overrated. So you either love Steph or you hate Steph. I think Steph's unbelievable, but some people might not think that. Shout out Tom, I love you, buddy, but I think it's funny. But Steph Curry deserves to win MVP. But staying on the NBA here, guys, we got to talk about this play-in game. Here we go. Tuesday night, the Celtics play the Washington Wizards. I'm not even joking when I say this. I really do think Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook kicked the Celtics' ass. No joke. Wizards are playing extremely hot. The Celtics are not. I have no confidence in them. My prediction is the Wizards get the 7 seed, and the Wizards are going to have to go on and take on the Brooklyn Nets, the 2 seed. Now, pretty good 2 seed to say the least, is the Brooklyn Nets. That will be an interesting series. Russell and Bradley versus Brooklyn. Now, I do think the Celtics finish with the 8 seed after the 8-9 play-in game or whatever. Well, we'll get to that. Yeah, the 8-9 play-in game, it's the 9-10 or whatever. This play-in format's just so unbelievably confusing, but whatever. The Pacers play the Hornets. I think the Pacers beat the Hornets, even though I do think the Pacers... No, I take that back. I think the Hornets beat the Pacers. I just don't think the Pacers are good this year. Whatever. Then the Celtics would have to play the Hornets. Celtics beat the Hornets. So the 8 seed Celtics play the 1 seed Sixers. Let me tell you guys, I am all in on that series. I might clock out right now. Whatever, I don't care about the Celtics. You give us the Sixers. McGregor's doing a 180. He's all in. You guys know it. I have a Ben Simmons' trash bracelet I wear every single day with passion and pride. Most overrated player in the NBA. Joke. But Philadelphia would kick Boston's ass. So, the 1-8, whatever. Now let's just talk about teams that are set. The Knicks Hawks. Anybody see the Knicks being a 4 seed and hosting this year? No, but when you have Julius Randle, who I think deserves to win Most Improved Player of the Year, if he doesn't win that award, I don't know what the NBA is doing. Because he's not going to win MVP. But he deserves to win Most Improved Player of the Year. If not, oh my God, that's an absolute joke. He's a stud. The 4-5, Knicks Hawks. Hawks are a good team. Nate McMillan, people can say he might deserve Coach of the Year. The Hawks were 11-22, I think, when they took over. And now look, he's a 5 seed. The Hawks are electric. Shout out Nate McMillan. That's going to be a good series. I think the Knicks win in 7. Great series, back and forth. New York, stand up. You're hosting a playoff series. You haven't even been in the playoffs forever, and now you're hosting one. So shout out Knicks. Shout out Tom Thibodeau, because Tom Thibodeau has done an unbelievable job. He could also get Coach of the Year award votes as well. Now the 3-6, Milwaukee versus Miami. This ring a bell to anybody? What happened last year? Milwaukee was a heavy favorite. Jimmy Butler got the boys ready to go and go into Milwaukee, and they beat them. Do I see that happening again this year? No. I do think Bam Adebayo deserves Defensive Player of the Year award. Maybe Rudy Gobert, but I like Bam more. I'm a little biased. So I think the Heat are going to test the Bucks. I do. I think Giannis is going to be ready, though. I just don't see the Heat winning this. I got the Bucks in 6. Good series. Bucks in 6. That's the East, though. That's the East. And, when it goes on and on and on, we'll break it down later on down the line in the future of podcasts, but I'm not going to go all the way through the finals. Personally, I do think the Brooklyn Nets win the NBA Finals. I've done a 180. I do think so. But just know, if they don't, I am all in on my take. From all the way back in maybe October, November, whenever James Harden got traded, where I said that this wasn't going to work for the Nets, I will stand on that statement if the Nets don't win it. I just don't see how they don't. And I don't think, I think the Jazz, they're good. right? They're the 1 seed in the West. They finished with the best record in the NBA. They're the only team in the NBA that hit 10 threes every single game this season, 10 or more threes, which is an unbelievable stat. So yeah, not bad. But I don't think the Jazz would beat the Nets. Much as I think the Jazz are good, they won't beat the Nets. I love the Phoenix Suns. We know the Phoenix Suns are now max playoff team. I've been a Suns fan for a while. Not bandwagon, I'm not. I got pictures with Devin Booker like 5 years ago when the Suns were the scum of the NBA. Let's go Suns. But Suns aren't going to win it. And you can say the Lakers, but the Lakers are in the play-in game. And I love this. Here's what I'm going to say. I am not a LeBron hater. I'm not a LeBron supporter. I am neutral. Do I think it would be absolutely hysterical if somehow the Lakers don't make it out of the play-in game and get eliminated from the playoffs? Yes. Yes, I think that would be absolutely beautiful to see. I do. I think that would be absolutely hilarious, actually. I'm very interested to see that. Let's get to the 7-8. The Lakers versus Warriors. You can't change my mind that this is the best play-in game there is. Everybody's agreeing on that. You got the Celtics, Wizards. Who cares? Pacers, Hornets. Who cares? Spurs, Grizzlies. Don't care. But then you get the Lakers, Warriors. Oh, hell yeah. You got my MVP, Steph Curry. First, arguably the greatest player of all time. You can't ask for a better game in LA. What a game. Wow, that's going to be fun. And I'm expecting Steph to go off for 40 or 50. That's going to be good. And then I do have the Lakers winning because they got to get it together at some point, guys. They got to get it together at some point. And then you got the Warriors probably going against, I like the Spurs over the Grizzlies. I think Keldon Johnson is an underrated piece for that Spurs team who's played very good basketball this year. Spurs win, and then the Warriors win, whatever. That 7 seed stays as the Lakers, and the 8 stays as the Warriors. That's what's going to happen. You get the 1-8 Utah Jazz versus Warriors. What an electrifying 1-8 matchup that is. The Jazz are in for a test, but it will end up being Jazz in 5. 4-5, Clippers, Mavericks. Clippers handle the Mavericks. Luka Doncic needs to watch out and not get a technical and get suspended. Luka's on the verge of being a dirty player now. He's almost getting to that line, guys. He's close. Clippers in, I'll go Clippers in 6. Nuggets, Blazers. Well, the Blazers absolutely just were manhandling the Nuggets on the last night of the regular season, as I can remember. I don't know what the final score is before we started recording this. I'm extremely tempted to say I do think the Blazers are going to win. You know what? Who cares? I'm not gonna go chalk the whole way here. Blazers in 7 over the Nuggets. You heard it here first. Damian Lillard's playing unbelievable basketball. This Blazers team won 42 games maybe. They're playing really, really good. Really good. They don't play a lick of defense. And if they could decide to play some defense, hey, the Blazers could actually be good. They don't play defense. I don't expect to get these right. Whatever, I don't. It's going to be the Blazers over the Nuggets in 7. If there was Jamal Murray, I'd be picking the Nuggets. Still don't expect to get this right, but might as well get a headline here and just say, hey, Blazers in 7. And then the Suns versus the Lakers. Well, I'm going to be biased. Look, I'm not going to say that the Lakers are going to beat the Suns. After Monty Williams, who deserves to be Coach of the Year as well, from the Suns, my God. I mean, you look, the Suns have their best season in a long time. Haven't made the playoffs for who knows how long. Get a 2 seed. You should be very in good shape. And you have to play LeBron and the Lakers more likely? Jeez, dude. I don't care. I'm going Suns in 7. They're not going to win. Whatever. I have no confidence that the Suns win. But I'm rocking with the Suns. If the Suns are lucky, maybe they can play the Warriors. But that wouldn't be a fun matchup either. The Suns got into a very tough situation. I'd rather be the 3 seed if I was Phoenix playing Portland than playing either the Lakers or the Warriors. But that's that. I hate the playing game with the system. Everybody knows that I hate the playing game. I think it's stupid. I'm being biased because the Celtics are in it. I think the Lakers versus Warriors matchup is unbelievable. I love every second of that. But as we know, McGregor absolutely hates, with a passion, the playing game. And now to end it, Alisson Becker of Liverpool scores a 95th minute game winner over West Brom. What a goal. What a goal. You never see a goalie score nowadays. He gets called up for a corner kick, ends up heading one into the back of the net over West Brom, at West Brom, early Sunday morning. What a game. This is huge, though. It kept Liverpool's chances alive of being in the Champions League. It did. It did, because they're borderline right now. It's not been a good year for Liverpool. Alisson's gone through a tough time, too, with his dad dying. So that's never easy for anybody. But you could tell how emotional it was when he put one in the back of the net. He was crying, getting on all fours, pointed up to his father and everything. That goal was for his dad, 95th minute, and it was actually a bulletin header. It was an absolute bullet from Becca, and what a goal. What a goal. And Liverpool keeps their dreams of Champions League alive. Alive. And also, that reminds me, let's talk Leicester over Chelsea to end the show real fast. Over the weekend, Leicester City played Chelsea. If you don't know, this is for the FA Cup final. What the FA Cup is, if you don't know, is every team in England can sign up and play. You know, you can look and like you can put your best friends together, qualify for the FA Cup, right? You're not going to make it far. There's so many rounds to get to the final. But if you have a club, a proper club, that's an actual real football club, doesn't matter what level, you can go play in the FA Cup. And that's why the Super League's a joke. If you would have had the Super League, you don't have teams like Leicester winning the FA Cup. Now, I get Leicester's a bigger club than what they used to be, right? They won the Premier League a couple years ago. It was the biggest sporting odds upset in the history of all of sports, I think. Maybe Miracle on Ice, Team USA over the Soviets might be a close first or second, I don't know, but kind of the same thing. Leicester now is still a bigger club, and they're going to be Champions League next year, top 4 in the Premier League, but it's still, you see what it means to the fans? Like, the fans were going crazy because Leicester's been a small club for a very long time until recent years. But their owner, who died in a tragedy helicopter accident, I believe his son, could be wrong, I believe his son's now the owner. And you just see how much it means to Leicester and the Leicester community for winning the FA Cup, because they've known they've been a small club. And this is a big moment. It's hard to win the Premier League when you got the giants of Manchester City, United, Liverpool going at it every year. So when you can get something like the FA Cup, that's amazing for your club. And that's why I'm glad the Super League is dead right now, because that's what you like to see in soccer and football, whatever you want to call it. Unbelievable. You love to see it. So that's how we're going to end the show, on a good story. Battle of Florida's electric. Let me tell you also, having fans at these games and the hockey games and everything, it's so good. When Leicester scored, it was an absolute screamer from Telemans. Upper 90, upper left corner, what an absolute, it was a great goal. Great goal. You could hear the roar of the crowd. Everyone was going crazy. This Battle of Florida game, everything, roar of the crowd. It's good to hear fans again. And hopefully every day we can keep taking a step in the right direction, keep improving and getting 100% here sooner or later for everybody around the world, and just get back to a normal life. But I hope you guys have a good day, good start to your week, good episode. You know what I'll be doing tonight? I'll be suffering emotionally and mentally through another Boston Bruins game. I'm going to need the boys to buzz. Let's get a Game 2 victory here. And I love you guys. Peace out.